Guys, Team SpiritBomb coming at you with a U7 Frieza swap deck profile with our boy Jason, regular tournament winner. So, how's the deck been playing for you so far?
In testing, great. Against Frieza Aggro, against Broly Veggies, all sorts of different decks really that me and my friends play, just tabletops really. And waiting to take it to Liverpool on Tuesday just to test it out there for some, obviously, testing for Manchester. On the 16th. Might be a few changes I'll make to it by then, but so far it's running quite smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can probably develop a side deck or something extra with the results.
Well, yeah. Me and my friend Ridge put this together and put our heads together and sort of came up with this little
absolutely shout outs. Yeah.
So without further ado, I'll get into the leader, why I chose the leader, and then get into the deck.
Absolutely.
So this is Universe 7 Frieza. I still think it's one of the strongest leaders in the game at the moment. First effect it has is a permanent. It's Warrior of Universe 7. So what that means for anyone who doesn't know or is new to the game, Warrior of Universe 7 means any of your Universe 7 cards are treated as like colourless, if you know what I mean. So if you've got to pay 3 specific blue or 2 specific blue, you don't have to pay 2 specific blue. You can pay any colour for them.
Okay. Yeah.
So that sort of thing. So I'll show you, but it's easier just to explain it like that. Its activate main is you ditch a Universe 7 card from your hand to the drop area and draw 2 cards.
Okay, so it gets advantage as well as with the colorless idea. Yeah. Do you have to have a specific color energy to do that?
No. So say, as I said, say if you have a blue, say ready to fight, which is a 1-drop blue. If you've got a yellow energy, you can tap that yellow energy to play your 1-drop blue because it's treated as anything.
Okay.
They all have that basically. Most Universe 7 leaders have that. Its awaken is you untap 2 energy, flip it over. So a little trick you like to do, or I'd like to do for anyone who doesn't know about it, is get a draw 2 and an activate 2 energy out of it. So first side, ditch 1, draw 2.
Yeah.
Then you awaken, activate your 2 energy, flip it over, then you can ditch 1, draw 2 again.
You can do it again?
Yes, you can do it again. So effectively you can do what awaken does twice. So you have awaken leaders that activate 2 energy, then you have awaken leaders that draw 2 cards. You have some that do 1 of each, but that's what you have. What this one does effectively is you draw 1 because you ditch 1, draw 2, which is a +1.
Okay.
Activate your 2 energy. Ditch 1, draw 2, which is another +1. So you get your draw 2 and your activate 2.
So that's 2 +2s and the rest of a battle card.
Well, 1+1. It's 2 +1s. Yeah. And as I'll explain on this side, it's still got Warrior of Universe 7. It's activate main. You ditch the 1, draw 2, but it has the added effect that you can rest one of your opponent's battle cards. Doesn't ignore barrier, which is grim, but it would be too broken if it ignored barrier as well. Downside to this Frieza, it's not usable. Cold Bloodlust isn't usable in it, which is a broken card at the moment.
Okay.
I think it'd be a bit too much if you could use Bloodlust, but I think they thought about it before they released it.
You reckon?
Yeah. And it's a shiny frisbee. The cake was delicious. Anyway, let's get into the extra cards. Run quite a few of these, but most of them are essential.
What's the ratio of extra cards to battle cards?
Well, 17 extra cards.
17 extra cards.
Yeah, that leaves 33 battle cards.
Okay.
But it works. It works very, very well. So the first 4 extra cards we have in the deck are 4-time magic. Broken. It's a counter card, negates an attack. You keep your opponent's guy in rest mode, ignoring barrier until the beginning of your next turn.
How many things with barrier do you hit with this?
Well, for one thing, you've got the Gogeta that drops your hand to 3 as well. if you get your hand dropped to 3 when they obviously swing and go to your Shenron,
Yeah.
if you draw this card and they've used their Shenron's ability to give it triple attack,
Yeah.
nullifies that whole ability. It gets 1 attack, you negate the attack, and they don't get to attack
That's
again.
the big Shenron effect. The
big
go all
ditch
out.
7. And if they don't win that turn, they flip their guard back over there at 10k, you're at advantage straight away.
With no Dragon Balls.
Yeah, and they can't draw every turn with their leader either, or activate a wish card for free, or a desire card for free every turn either. The good thing about this is it's got Sparking 5, which is easy to get with the Frieza leader because you discard 1, draw 2 every turn. So the Sparking 5 lets you, instead of tapping an energy for it, you take a life, you do the same thing.
Okay.
Pretty busted. Potentially going to run a Nimbus in there instead of one of these, but that might be just a side deck card. For aggro decks like Veggies, if they get so many cards on board, and I can just Nimbus, discard 1, stop them attacking.
Okay.
Next,
Casual +1 negate.
It's a neutral negate, because if you take a life, you get the card back that you lost, and you stop them attacking. The next 4 cards are a card that you'll see a lot of in this format at the moment. Successor of Hope. 0 cost, yellow, activate main, add a guy with 5 or less, cost of 5 or less, and swap as a keyword skill in its name, in its keyword area.
I think a 0 cost search is ridiculous.
It fills your drop area as well for Frieza. So you've got Sparking 7 for certain cards in the deck. So it's just a free search, really. There's quite a few cards in there you can search. You'll never not be able to use it. And if you can't use it, it's energy fodder. Next 4 cards. Another 4 of Universe 7 representative. All shiny as well.
All shiny. Wow.
Yeah.
Can I get a close-up of one of them?
Damn. This card is really good again. Tap 1, it's a yellow. Its permanent is, it's treated as Universe 7 in all areas. So you can ditch it for Frieza. Draw 2 cards if it's dead.
Even though it's an extra card?
Even though it's an extra card, it's treated as Universe 7 in all
and doesn't
areas.
have the subtype?
No. It's not,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Its activate main is you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose a Universe 7 there, add it to your hand. So it's a search card for your pieces, really. Another search card. So just 4 of that for consistency. Also, we've got the card in the drop area for sparking. I keep mentioning that, but it's a very important thing.
That's almost a fifth of your deck that you get to look through with that card.
You get to look through so much of your deck just with that card, and then you get to look through your whole deck with, obviously, the successor, because you can see what you've got in your deck if you're quick enough. A 3 of, which is a very, very, very dominant card in the format at the moment, Battering Laser. It's always been good, but even now it's much better with the yellow decks out. Broly, Frieza, all sorts of different things. It's a counter to a counter. So if your opponent, you swing and your opponent activates a counter to negate your attack, you can tap 1 energy, discard a yellow card, and negate that counter. The only thing they can do in return then is use a Battering Laser on you. If they haven't got one, your attack is going through. It's amazing. You did your card for it, but it's worth it if you're going to win the game.
Does your leader need to be yellow for battering?
It does not. You just have to have a yellow energy.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, on the last 2 extra cards. 2 Planet Vegeta. Really, really good for searching your 4 or drop or less Saiyans. What happens with this card is you play this card in the field, well, the battle area, it's treated as a field card. You search a 4 drop or less Saiyan from your deck to your hand.
What, any Saiyan?
Any Saiyan, 4 drop or less. Its other auto is you can restand apes at the end of your turn, but that's not relevant in this deck profile. It's really good in other deck profiles though. I run a 2 of because you can either use it as energy if it's useless, search a key card if you really, really need it and you're really looking for it, and if nothing else, you can play it over another 1 just to put a card in your drop.
How consistent would you say this is at 2?
I don't think it's needed anymore, and I wouldn't run it any less. 1 is, if you don't see it, sometimes you miss a piece. I mean, I rarely get that anyway, but I like the 2 of because, as I said, it can be energy or it can just be a search 1. Okay. And it can search all my super combos. Unlike things like Broly, which run the Jackos, or maybe Beerus. I doubt they would run Beerus, but they run the Jackos because it's a, if you've got 4 or less life, give it 10k power, draw a card. My super combos are Saiyans, so I can search super combos if anything.
You can search super combos.
Yeah.
Wow.
If anything.
Okay.
The next 4 cards are my super combos, as we're explaining. So I've got a 3 of Backbone of Universe 7 Goku, the only red card in the deck. Obviously, we know what super combos do. If you're new to the game and you don't, you basically, if your life is at 5 or less with this one, unlike the unusual 4 or less or sparking 5 at the moment, which is very popular, if your life is at 5 or less, you gain 10,000 power on its combo area and you draw a card.
So you can use this early on so much quicker.
Yes. And if you can't use it and you have nothing else in your hand, you can discard it for Frieza to do the same thing. Draw 1, discard 1, draw 2.
So it is actually a U7
it's
card.
It's a U7 card as well, and they're all shiny too. The card is really, really good. You know, you ditch it, you could search it with Planet. There's no downside to running super combos. Every deck runs 4 super combos. The last super combo I run 1 of is Shigesh.
Somebody touching my Shigesh.
It's a broken card. This super combo is slightly different. Your life has to be at 4 or less, which is not hard in this deck. You don't draw one with this. What you do, you gain 10,000 combo power, and then you can play a 3-drop or less Saiyan from your hand.
Okay.
For free, basically. Really useful in this deck. Obviously, Cronoa is a big card at the moment. That's why I'm not playing the 4 Shigesh, because if you get Cronoa'd, your super combos just become 10k for zeros. They have no added effect. So just the 1 is absolutely fine. Wouldn't recommend it anymore, really. You don't need to run it anymore. Shigesh is absolutely fine. If you don't actually need it, it just makes your plays a lot better if you can use it.
So what made you opt to, run 1?
Just 1? Cronoa.
Just
literally Cronoa, because Cronoa is such a dominant card right now because of this card.
Okay.
If Cronoa wasn't a card, I'd probably wouldn't run 4 just to get my guys
really
out. Yeah, it's so good just for getting you guys out, and it's also yellow.
Is he a searchable Saiyan? The 4-drop or less?
Yes.
Okay.
There's another planet target. Another 3 of, as I was speaking before, Cronoa.
Deflect. There it is.
So your opponent can't play cards to this card's effect. Well, when it's summoned, it's auto. When it's played, you draw a card, and your opponent, when they play a super combo, they can't summon off that super combo. So, i.e., things like Shigesh or Pan, which is the Goku's lineage card, which can play cards. They can't activate the skill. They can gain the 10,000 power, but they can't activate the skill to summon the card, to play the card for free, because this stops it for the whole game.
Wow. For the whole game?
Yeah, for the game. It's not for the turn, it's for the game. So, bye-bye Shigesh. These are potentially cards that I would change for maybe some certain Goku's lineage cards, but so far they're running quite smoothly, and it might be a second engine just in case you can't get your first off. Cold-Hearted Strike Frieza. Main thing I use this for in the deck is it's a Universe 7 card, it's yellow energy, so I can discard it or use it as energy. If you really need to know what the card does, it's dual attack, so it can attack twice. Its auto is when you summon the card, you can ditch 1 card, 1 Universe 7 card, target 2 of your opponent's battle cards, switch them to rest mode, or if they're already in rest mode, keep them in rest mode until basically the beginning of your next turn, and
the beginning of your next turn.
Well, the end of your opponent's turn, basically.
Wow. Okay.
And it ignores barrier. So for a turn,
ignores barrier.
Yeah. So you go play this card, ditch a card, target 2 of their cards. When it goes to their turn, they can't switch them back to active. Yeah.
Can they switch them back to active with card effects?
Yes, not in there. It's not in there. It's not like that. They can't do it in their active phase, if you know what I mean. Like when you're playing an energy, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure, anyway. Yeah, charge phase. So yeah, it is just the charge phase.
Okay.
3 of that, discard fodder really, and maybe a second engine if you get that far in the game. And then the big boy Frieza. This card is nuts. If you get this off late in the game, it's super good. You pay 1 to evolve over the 5-drop Frieza. This again is just energy and discard fodder for the Frieza really. But what this guy does is triple strike. So obviously that means you hit them for 3 instead of 1, 2, which is big in this game. Triple strike's a big thing. It has a permanent of if your opponent activates a skill that's not a keyword skill, they have to take a life for each one they do and put it in the drop area. So say if they Shigesh, for activating Shigesh's auto to gain 10,000, they have to ditch a life. And then if they want to carry on and activate it to basically summon a card, they have to take another life.
Okay, so one thing that I have noticed with this card is a lot of people say that this changes the timing of certain mechanics as well.
What you can do with this is, if usually autos are mandatory.
Yeah.
So they say, auto, you have to do it if it says, unless it says you may. But with this, you get the option. It changes the fact that you can give them an option. So if it says auto, draw one card, you play Granola, you can choose not to draw one card because you don't want to pitch a life, really. You can be like, no, I'm not going to activate the auto.
That takes some good decisions to get around.
Yeah,
wow.
It's very hard to get around. I mean, you can play a card that just pops a card and you have to take a life and it's dead. But if they don't have a card that just pops a card, and they still lose a life to do it.
Okay.
So it's pretty strong.
So how do you feel about those two particular Friezas being at 3 each?
I don't need them anymore. Yeah.
Do you have any less at
No,
any point?
What I might do is swap them out for certain Goku's lineage cards that are going to be a little bit spicy if they work out.
Yeah.
Because if I can't get my turn 4 off, it potentially can become a turn 5 if something goes wrong.
Okay.
Not going to talk about that yet, but yeah, so far these are playing out fine. Discard them, draw 2. Next one, because the format is so aggro at the moment, another 4 negates. Roshi. Counter, negate the attack, play this card in active mode, basically. Or you can play it at all, but it's in active mode. So it becomes a negate and a potential 5k combo, which can potentially stop another attack as well. Really, really good. It's also Universe 7, so discard it for Frieza if you need to. Draw 2 cards. Simple.
Brilliant.
And it's shiny and he's cool. The next stuff is the swap side of things.
Here we go.
So we'll start with the beginning of swap, because every beginning of swap starts with this in Goku's lineage, other than Grandpa. Bardock the progenitor. Blah, blah, blah.
Show me the progenitals.
Show me your progenitals. He's got swap. Summons a guy with energy cost of 2 from your hand. Also, when you play this card, you can take a life.
Wow.
So you just play him, take a life. Also, thing to know about swap if you're new to the game is it says swap 2, so you can swap into a 2 guy. You don't have to swap into anything, you can just swap it back to your hand for free and declare fail. So if you don't want it to get popped and you want to use it for another turn, the turn after, go straight back to your hand.
Can you declare fail even if you have
even if you have a card, because your hand is an unknown area to your opponent.
Wow, okay.
Another thing about swap as well is when you use its swap ability, you play the card you're swapping into first and then put this card back in your hand. That's how I know it's played, just so you know.
Okay.
Just a lot of people tend to put it back in the hand first and then play the card out. The right way to do it is the other way around.
Can you swap while it's in rest after attacking?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Next one. It's just in case you can't get certain plays like Shigesh off. This is the guy that Bardock would swap into. The reason I choose this over the 15k Goku that everyone uses is because my deck's less aggro. I don't want to be attacking. This has got barrier, so that's why I use it. It can't be popped very easily. Barrier is a really good mechanic in the game at the moment to protect you. It also has swap 2, so what you do is you tap 2 energy and swap it into a free drop. Other than that, yellow energy, combat power, really. It's searchable with the Goku's lineage, the 0 drop card as well.
Really?
Yeah, so obviously those 2 cards are all searchable.
Wow.
Next one, it's definitely a 4 of, and it's a beast of the deck. It's a brand new promo, well, a newish promo. Son Goku, Path to Greatness. I bought it. They're not cheap, but it is what it is. These cards are insane. First things first, it's barrier. Second thing is when it's summoned, it draws a card and puts one of your opponent's cards in rest mode. Doesn't ignore barrier, but it puts a card in rest mode. 19k is a weird number, but 19k is better than 18k and lower, so it's an odd number your opponent has to combo out of if you choose to attack. Also, it has, what makes it so good is the fact that it has swap 4. So you can swap into an 8-drop Goku's lineage from your hand as long as you have 7 cards in your drop area.
For 4?
For 4, tap 4 energy. Yeah, so it becomes a turn 4 play, so you can swap into a big boy. Other than that, it's got both traits, Warrior of Universe 7, so it is a Universe 7 card, and it also is a Goku's lineage card. So all my search cards search this card.
And you can discard it with
and
your
I
leader
can discard it
if you really needed to.
If I really need to, yeah.
Okay, that's
playable with Shigesh as well. So if you don't want to tap the energy 4 or energy 4 or less, you play it with Shigesh, and you rest one of their battle cards. You draw a card. So still, effectively, you do what your super combo would normally do. You just draw a card, but you get to rest one of their cards as well. Another 4 of which this guy goes into. As I said, it's got swap into an 8-drop. Height of Mastery. Broken card wins games on its own. This one has deflect, so when they play it, they can't call Bloodlust, they can't crush a ball, anything like that. Anything that's counterplay, they can't do. It's got triple strike and dual attack, so it can attack twice for 3 and 35k. Also, when you play it using swap, you can choose 3 of your opponent's battle cards and or energy and place them in rest mode, ignoring barrier.
So this is the main target for the Path to Greatness?
Yeah, you literally go into this from Path to Greatness and you literally target 3 of their cards and rest them.
Can you rest their energy with that?
Yeah. Ignores barrier as well, so if they've got 3 energy active, you just go, wipe your energy, keep them free.
Do you think Bandai are going to do anything about that card?
I don't think so at the moment, because I think it'd be more this card than that card, because if you don't have this card, it's a lot harder to get into this card.
Okay.
But amazing card, triple strike, dual attack, deflect.
I mean, clearly.
Rest free cards. Other than that, it has both traits again. So Universe 7 and Goku's lineage. You can't search it with obviously the 0-drop because it's too high of a cost, but it is both. And the last card of the deck, and the man of the hour in a lot of decks, a lot of people want this card, but obviously Son Goku, the Awakened Power, Secret Rare, the money card, the broken ass card, Universe 7 again, so it's searchable with the 1-drop, the search card. I forgot what it's called now. Why has that left my brain? Representatives, that's the word. So it's searchable with rep. This has EX Evolve 1, so you tap 1 energy, discard a Universe 7 card from your hand, evolve it onto a 5 cost or that higher. Obviously, you evolve it onto this card. And then the neat little trick is, because when you swapped, so the play would be, you have this card, you go into this card and swap this back to your hand. Okay. And then you can then discard the card and play this on top if you wanted to. Wow. Yeah. So you get the material for it, really. You get the ability to do it straight away.
It's called Path to Greatness now.
Yeah. This is an ultimate, so you can only run 1 of it in your deck. Its permanent is its skill and attack can't be negated. So you can't Bloodlust it. You can't negate its attack with a negate.
You can't Bloodlust this at all.
You can't get rid of it to skill at all. You can't use the 5-drop freezer on it to negate its ability.
Really?
Nothing can negate its ability. Actually, yeah, I lied. There's 1 card, but that doesn't technically negate its ability. Mafuba. This card also is the only card with Victory Strike at the moment. So what Victory Strike is if you inflict any damage on your opponent with this card's attack, you win.
Casual obliterate.
You literally, if they're on 8 and you just go, you get the attack through, you win. Most people will use a negate. That's why you run the bad ring, because usually your turn 4 play will be, you've got your Path to Greatness out.
Can I get a bit of a close up of that guy?
Pulled this. This wasn't bought.
It wasn't bought?
No, £65 for a box, and I pulled it. And I pulled the SPR freezer as
really?
well. Yeah.
Wow.
And my friend Rich pulled one of these as well, so we got lucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your turn 4 play would be usually if you haven't awakened, which you shouldn't have awakened, because you should be able to defend yourself well enough with enough negates and combos and stuff. So you'll have your freezer, you'll play your energy for turn 4, you'll discard 1 to draw 2, and then you'll have Path to Greatness on board. What you'll do is you'll swap your Path to Greatness into this guy. He will rest free of your opponent's cards. Then you'll flip this over, activate 2 of your energy, and then you can use this Frieza again. Discard 1 Universe 7, draw 2 more cards. Then
Really?
you ditch 1 card from your hand.
Yeah.
Evolve onto this, tap 1 of your energy, so that leaves you with 1 spare energy.
Okay.
And then, well, this guy's rested a 4th card because this has rested a battle card as well. It's like a pseudo Broly. Then you swing with this, and if they have any negates or any counters, you've got that extra spare energy for Bad Ring Laser, and you tap the Bad Ring Laser, obviously discard the yellow and negate their negate. Unless they've got somehow extra energy to play another Bad Ring or another somehow, I don't know what they would be able to do in that instance.
Okay.
The only thing they can do is out combo it, but by that time you've probably got about 100k's worth of combo in your hand, and they're on turn 3, so and they're not awakened.
Okay, so thoughts and feelings about how it's, you know, we're going to be going to more locals, we're going to be going to a lot more tournaments. How do you think the deck's going to fare?
I think it'd be fine. I think it'd be absolutely great. Like, I just love the deck anyway. I've always loved playing U7. Obviously, I played it when it first came out as well. When it wasn't this sort of swap engine, it was like a Universe 7 engine. So you go into a 5-drop, take life to gain power, and then go into an 8-drop with triple attack, and then go into the Goku. It was more of a turn 4/5 play with objections, but obviously objections is a lot harder card to play now because of things like Dende.
Okay, so you've built it this way, you know, sort of.
It's more consistent, in my opinion. It's faster.
Really?
Yeah, it's nicer to play like this.
Okay.
And also you get to play things like Heightened Mastery, and I'll be getting my SPR soon, which looks sweet. I've already got one, so
we'll get an update for that.
Yeah, that'll look cool, and I'll try and get the whole deck hollowed as well, as much of the deck as I can hollowed.
Tall order.
Because I like some Victory Strike in my life.
So again, huge shout out to our boy on the team, Ridge.
Yeah, helped me piece this together, to be fair. He's been playing Red Frieza, which is, we seem to like Frieza in this. Frieza and Goku.
Yeah, okay. So again, thank you so much, guys, for watching. You know, if you feel the need to support us at any point, everything's appreciated. You know, we've loved bumping into you at tournaments, you know, locals, everything. Don't be afraid to come up and speak to us.
Yeah, try it yourself as well. Like, build it your own way, but this deck it's really good. It's a different variant of the Broly. The Broly's a bit quicker, obviously take a lot more life, but in that case, aggro is quite difficult for Broly, so this has got a little bit more longevity.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much again. This is Team SpiritBomb signing off. Peace.